Hey team, we are back. We have been spending a lot of time determining the theme, and each video has shown a way to do that. Last week we dug into some key details, and today we're gonna take that same idea and we're gonna refine it a little bit. That means we're gonna make it a little more specific. We're not just gonna look at all the key details in a story. We wanna specifically look at the problem or challenge that a character faces in the story and the solution. When we take those key details, that's really what we're looking for, is the problem and the solution. And so we're really going to dive into that. I did put challenge here in parentheses. Depending on the story, sometimes the issue is going to feel a little bit more like a problem, and sometimes it's going to be a little bit more like a challenge that a main character or narrator is going to have to face or learn from. So you might hear it either way. Just keep that in mind. That's what we're talking about. So let's dig into our story. This is called The Tyrant Who Became a Just Ruler. I just chose a really quick story here so that you guys don't have a super long video, but notice I put my steps over here on the side. I'm going to look for the problem, the solution. I'm going to see if I can find a moral, and I'm going to use that to build my theme, and then I obviously got to check for support after I come up with my theme to make sure that I am on the right track. Alrighty, team. In olden times, there lived a king who was so cruel and unjust toward his subjects that he was always called the Tyrant. So heartless was he that his people used to pray night and day that they might have a new king. One day, much to their surprise, he called his people together and said to them, "My dear subjects, the days of my tyranny are over. Henceforth you shall live in peace and happiness, for I have decided to try to rule henceforth justly and well." The king kept his word so well that soon he was known throughout the land as the Just King. By and by, one of his favorites came to him and said, "Your Majesty, I beg of you to tell me how it was that you had this change of heart toward your people." And the king replied, "As I was galloping through my forests one afternoon, I caught sight of a hound chasing a fox. The fox escaped into his hole, but not until he had been bitten by the dog so badly that he would be lame for life. The hound returning home, met a man who threw a stone at him, which broke his leg. The man had not gone far when a horse kicked him and broke his leg, and the horse fell into a hole and broke his leg. Here I came to my senses and resolved to change my rule. For surely, I said to myself, he who doeth evil will sooner or later be overtaken by evil." All right, team members, let's find the problem in this story and then see if we can find the solution. Take a minute to look over this. If there were any of those words next to numbers that were challenging for you, any of these, make sure you check the footnotes and the definitions section. About 10 more seconds to think about what the problem in this story is. Well, team members, the big problem in this story is we have a ruler, and he's just like a terrible person. He is a tyrant. That is not a good thing. We see down here, a tyrant means a cruel ruler. It even uses those words cruel and unjust. Unjust means not fair. They also use words like heartless. That's brutal. So here we go. The problem in this story is we have a mean, evil king. Yeah, not cool. Let's find the solution, team members. Let's just double check in here. What could be our solution? Well, we read through. It says, "My dear subjects, my days of tyranny are over." That seems pretty good. "You shall live in peace and happiness." Excellent. "Henceforth he will rule justly and well," and he kept his word. So, wrong page again. So really the solution is the king becomes a just ruler, or more, maybe even just a better ruler. You might also want to say something like the king sees the error of his ways, or he sees that being mean is bad, right? He decides to change his ways. Ooh, let's see if we can fit. Decides to change his ways. He wants to be better. Awesome. So let's double check in that story and see about a moral here. Remember, moral's usually going to be after the solution and toward the end of the story, and it might be stated in the text. Let's see if it's stated here. I would look toward the end of the text, maybe check this paragraph, see what you think. About 10 more seconds. All right, team members, while I look at this sentence here, for surely, I said to myself, he who doeth evil will sooner or later be overtaken by evil. Yikes. So, for this moral, you might be thinking something like, you want to just take that. What does that really mean? Sounds to me like they're saying, well, someone who does bad things are going to happen to them. So you might write it like that. One way that you might think of this is kind of like the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated, right? That's a great moral, and that really matches what they're saying here. The king realizes he was mean, and so people might be mean to him. They didn't want him as a king. They prayed that he would disappear and go away. That's not super awesome, but he realizes when you treat people kindly, they can be kind to you or to other people. All right, team members, now let's develop what we know here into a theme. When we look at this, we really want to take this idea of treat others as you want to be treated and really develop it a little bit. So, how about something like if, oops, I can't use you, just kidding, if people treat others badly, comma, they will likely be treated badly in return. Yeah. I'm going to add then. An if-then statement is a pretty safe way to handle a theme. If people treat others badly, then they will likely be treated badly in return. Does that match the problem and solution of this text? Well, the problem was there was an evil, mean king, and the solution was he decided to change because he learned that you should treat others as you want to be treated, right? So that's a really nice way to look at this. Let's look for some support in the text. We already noticed one piece that I think is really good here. He who doeth evil will sooner or later be overtaken by evil. Yeah, basically he's just meaning if you are living an evil life, your life's probably going to just end up being filled with evilness. Not awesome. The other area to look for support, remember support is usually things that we've already marked in the text. If we've really found the problem and the solution and the moral, then we've probably marked a lot of the really important text evidence. So really, we have support here for this idea that people who treat others badly will also be treated badly. In this idea that he changed his ways, right? You might also look into this story down here a little bit more, just showing that, you know, the fox got hurt, and then the dog got hurt, and then the man got hurt, and the horse got hurt, and it's just this cycle of hurt, right? So those are all some different ways that you can support this theme in the story. Nice job, guys. Like I said, I just want to keep it short and sweet. And remember to look for these things: problem, solution, moral, theme, and support. If you can find those, you're going to be golden. Wonderful, wonderful job. Miss you guys loads, and keep up the good work.